Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada
Jaya Gurudev 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 Gurudev
Jaya Gurudev 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 Gurudev
Hari Hari.
Ke, Bhaktidev Ke, Vindev Ke, Dasmaran Ke, Anadigar Vishwan Ke, Krishna Bhagavatam Ke, Harinam Sankirtan Ke, Samaveta Bhaktivan Ke, Gaura Prem, Agro Shikri Vanchi Garanga Hari Hari Ba. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Jamuna Tiravanachare Jaya Kunjabe Are Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora, Haribo. Nitai Gora, Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora, Haribo. Gaura Premanandi Haribo Jai Nichilita Vishnu Vishnapa Paramsa Paramahansa Sriman Bhajanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Guru Parampara Ki Gaura Premi Dam Bhagavatam Nama Ki Jai Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Staya Bhutale Singharan Santi Vachai Sesa Sanyamani Vastastarne. So we were originally asked to speak about Srila Prabhupada. But because this is a Bhagavatam class, we'll read the Sanskrit transliteration, translation, and purport. What verse is it? I can't see it. 885. That one, okay. And so it's just, there's no purport. So we'll do the Sanskrit, then we'll do the translation, and then we'll talk about Prabhupada. That's what we were asked to do. Vanamali was supposed to come and translate, but he's busy today. So please tolerate my English, and then, anyone that can understand what I'm saying. Does anyone speak English in the crowd? He said, don't worry, it's okay. Chaliye. Okay. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam ato jayam adiraet shinvatam swakata Krishna punya shravana kirtana hridyantosto abhadrani viranoti sritsatam nasta preshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistike Krishne swadharma bhagate dharmagan vibihi saha Kalonastadvishamaisha Paranarko Denoditaha Omagyanatimarandasya Garanjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 85, verse 32 to 33. Please repeat after me. Chiranmrita Sudadane Chiranmrita Sudadane Chiranmrita Sudadane Guruna Kila Choditao Gununa Kila Choditao Guruna Kila Chodito Aninyatu Pratirstana Aninyatu Pratirstana Aninyatu Pratirstana Guruve Guru Dakshinam Guruve Guru Dakshinam Guruve Guru Dakshinam Tatame Kurutam Kamam Tatame Kurutam Kamam Tatame Kurutam Kamam Yuvam Yogoreshvaro Yuvam Yogeshvareshvaro Yuvam Yogeshvareshvaro Bojaraja Katan Putran Bojaraja Katan Putran Bojaraja Katan Putram Kamaye Drashtum Aritan Kamaye Drashtum Dritam Kamaye Drashtum Aritan Kamaye Drashtu Aritan. Devotees? Mata, Mataji's? No volunteers? All right. So word for word. Chirat, for a long time. Mita, dead. Sutta, the son. Adane, to return. Karuna, by your spiritual master. Kila, it has been heard. Choditao, ordered. Anyanyatuhu, you brought him. Pitrir, of the forefathers. Stanat, from the place. Guruve, to your spiritual master. Guru Dakshinam, as a token of thanksgiving for your Guru's mercy. Tata, in the same way. May, my. Kurutam, please fulfill. Kamam, the desire. Yuvam, you too. Yoga Ishvara, of the masters of yoga. Ishvaro, O masters. Bhoja Raja, by the king of Bhoja, Kamsa. Hatan, killed. Putran, my sons. Kamaye, I wish. Drastum, to see. Ahritan, brought back. First, I'll just read it through and then you can repeat. It is said that when your spiritual master ordered you to retrieve his long-dead son, you brought him back from the forefathers' abode as a token of remuneration for your Guru's mercy. Please fulfill my desire in the same way. O Supreme Masters of all yoga masters, please bring back my sons who were killed by the king of Bhoja, so that I may see them once again. Please repeat after me. It is said that when your spiritual master ordered you to retrieve his long-dead son, you brought him back from the forefathers' abode as a token of remuneration for your Guru's mercy. Please fulfill my desire in the same way. O Supreme Masters of all yoga masters, please bring back my sons who were killed by the king of Bhoja, so that I may see them once again. Jai-idam Bhagavatam Nama Purnam Brahma Samitam Jai Omagana Tamarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshum Militam Yenitasma Shri Gurave Namaha. So because we were asked to talk about Srila Prabhupada, we will talk about Prabhupada. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And I don't know where to start. I'll just talk about how I came to Krishna consciousness. I'll make that quick. And then we'll go into the different nectar pastimes of Prabhupada. So in 1971, of course, I was looking for spiritual life. Ganicha Bar Tarshaba. I was more the Gani type. And so then in November of 71, my girlfriend at the time brought me to the Hare Krishna temple because she had a Back to Godhead magazine. And she said, let's go to the Hare Krishna temple. So I said, no, it was a full moon night. So then she dragged me to the temple. And then when we went in, there was Gaur Hari Das. He's passed on now. And Gaur Hari, when he saw me, I had a chain with a bell right here. And he said, Krishna likes bells. You're not going anywhere. In other words, you're staying here. And I just looked at him. I go, who's this crazy guy? So then also he pointed to, I said, who's this? He said, oh, that's Narada Muni. It was a big 8-foot painting, gigantic, like 6 feet wide, 8 feet tall. He said, that's Narada Muni, the eternal spaceman. And I was like, so then anyway, I went upstairs and everything was immaculate. Prabhupada always wanted the temples to be immaculate, extremely clean. So I was amazed. Everything was painted white. And I was going up on my legs and my hands, kind of like a monkey. Of course, I'm a monkey. But I went on up. And then, of course, believe it or not, they came around afterwards. There was a feast, and they put a maha plate like this. They had all the different types of maha. And I just kept eating and eating and eating and eating and eating. And then I asked if I could stay overnight. And I shouldn't have done that, but I did. And I ended up staying in the movement. But later on, I had to go back out because I had an apartment, I had my drum set, I had record albums, I was paying rent, and I didn't tell my parents. So, of course, the parents always get upset if you want to become a devotee. That's a common thing. So, what it is, Srila Prabhupada had just been there in August of 71, and he had installed Radha Gopi Ballava in Boston. This was Boston, Massachusetts. So that deity, there was 3 sets of deities out of one mold. And Radha Madhava in Mayapur, Radha Gopi Ballava in Boston, and then Radha Gokulananda in Berkeley, California. So those 3 sets of deities, they look the same. Radharani's dancing like this. And very beautiful deities. So because Prabhupada had just been there, I missed him because I came in November, he was there in August. And so then later on, then I heard that Prabhupada was coming to New Vrindavan. And see, I was a very independent person, which isn't a good quality when you're trying to learn spiritual life, if you're too independent. So I said, well, I want to go to New Vrindavan. The temple president said, you can't. So anyway, I just left and started hitchhiking. You could do it in those days. And I got a ride all the way to West Virginia. So that's hundreds of miles south. Because Boston is up here and then New Vrindavan's down here in West Virginia. So then, of course, Prabhupada was there and there was a big festivity. What was the name of the conference? Bhagavad Dharma Discourses with Satsvarup Maharaj, Sri Dayananda, and of course other sannyasis came there. Rupanuga Prabhu. And this was also going to be Krishna Janmashtami. And then the next day, of course, was Srila Prabhupada's Guru Puja. So all the devotees, they were, on the night of Janmashtami, the temple room was about maybe smaller, maybe a quarter of the size of this temple room. So you had like 100 devotees packed in there, shoulder to shoulder, like sardines in a can, And Prabhupada's reading Krishna book. And the devotees, they've been working all day long doing seva, and they're falling asleep. So Srila Prabhupada said, what? You don't like to hear about Krishna? And the devotees said, yes, Prabhupada. And then start falling. And then Prabhupada said, all right, We'd just go to bed and, well, you know. So anyway, so it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and the devotees went to bed. Of course, we had to get up at 4 o'clock to go to Mangal Arati. Now, later on is that up on top of the hill, this is on video, this is still on video, Prabhupada was up there because the next day was Guru Puja, Prabhupada's Guru Puja. So there was a big stage, and Prabhupada was on the stage, Vishnujan Swami was leading the kirtan, then all the other sannyasis and important devotees were up there. All the other devotees were down here, and I was right up on the next to the stage like this. And as Vishnujan is leading the kirtan, it's on tape, you can hear it. All of a sudden, when Prabhupada breaks in, with Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, and the devotees go crazy. Now, Prabhupada was oozing so much ecstasy out of his body. All the devotees in the audience, they started crying. Jai Gaurnitai ki Jai, Jai Krishna Balaram ki Jai, Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhaji ki Jai. And the devotees, you could hear everyone crying. The intensity was so wonderful. And afterwards, these devotees had made a gigantic cake for Prabhupada's birthday, and it was stacked up. And as devotees generally were in those days, they were prasadam fanatics, so they loved prasadam. So the cake is there, and then soon as after the Guru Puja, the devotees, and the cake's gone. And so then I'm running down the hill with 2 hands full of cake. Next to another devotee, he had 2 cans of cakes. And all of a sudden, a devotee who was more in authority, he came rushing down and said, Prabhupada wants a piece of cake. So we're like, just terrified. Oh, gosh, I have to give up my cake? So then we had to give up our cake, and then our hands are full, frosting. Of course, then we still got some maha, but the thing is, that's not the proper etiquette, how to serve your spiritual master on his appearance day by taking all the prasad, then he's asking for it. So, then also is that there was other times too, when Prabhupada, whenever he would come to New York, Prabhupada always went to New York, Los Angeles, and then other temples, Dallas, and when Prabhupada would come, the devotees would get very crazy. Like sometimes they would follow, Prabhupada would be in this car, and the devotees would come in this car, and like they're next to Prabhupada, in their cars. And Prabhupada would look over this way, and then he'd tell them to slow down, because that's dangerous, So the devotees, they backed off. Then at the airport, the devotees just came flooding in. So there would be, in New York, temple, this was the Henry Street Temple, there would be about 200 devotees, 200 or 300, and they'd all mostly come to the airport. So the devotees would just run over everything, jumping over. Back then there was no security. There was just a person who was saying, come here, come here. So the devotees were just jumping over everything to get to where Prabhupada was going to come out. And when one Prabhupada came out, all the devotees bowed down, but one devotee got up. He said, shine, Srila Prabhupada, shine! The effulgence. So Prabhupada gave a big 10,000-watt smile, and all the devotees just went crazy. They really loved it. Now, also, there's a small group, very tiny group, within ISKCON that are called the Floaters Club. The Floaters Club? What's that? So, Floaters Club means you're floating. So these are the devotees that have seen Srila Prabhupada float. So it's not like up here. He'd be right down to the ground, but it's like his feet are moving, but they're not. It's kind of like Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk, but forward. He'd just be kind of like moving along. So in the Syria Mosque, the same time that Prabhupada had been in New Vrindavan in that summertime after his Guru Puja, it's on tape. It's the Syria Mosque lecture. That's the name of the lecture. And it was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was a big auditorium called the Syria Mosque. And so we were in there. We were playing these rock and roll songs for Srila Prabhupada. with guitars and drum sets and flutes. And so when Prabhupada came in, he's coming down the stairs, and as he's coming down the stairs, all the floodlights are on him. So everybody could see him, and everything else was black. And as Prabhupada's coming down, I'm playing drums, and the drummer next to me, I look at him and I go, are you catching this? Prabhupada was going like this down the stairs. He wasn't on each step like this. He was coming down. And so then, of course, there's been other incidences, like my godbrother Satyanarayan. I'll see him now when we go to Vrindavan. And he also saw Srila Prabhupada coming up an escalator. And when he got to the top, and you know how the escalator is moving, and then when you get to the top, then of course you step on solid ground. But Prabhupada just kept floating up, and then he floated on past where you step when you get up the escalator. And then also Sureshwara, the one who always talks about Prabhupada. He has a whole series about Srila Prabhupada. He also saw Srila Prabhupada floating like that, up an escalator. So many devotees they've seen like this. So this is one of, of course, the mystic powers of Srila Prabhupada. And then also in New York, when I got initiation in the New York temple, I got my letter in December of 72, and then in February of 73, the initiation was in New York. So afterwards, we would go into the room where Prabhupada was. All the devotees were there. There was many devotees I got initiation with. Mangalananda, who plays devotee songs, he was getting second initiation. Omkar Devi Dasi, she's deceased. She was also getting first initiation. Mahara, she was getting first initiation. Myself and other devotees, but I don't remember who they are. It's all in the letter. It tells all the names. And so afterwards, we went into Prabhupada's room, and when I came out, I asked Pradumna, the Sanskritist, I said, what does my name mean? He goes down the line. I say, Bahusira Das. And I was saying, well, what is it? What does it mean? Translate it. And he said, Varata Rupa or Anantasesh. And, I was young and a little bit crazy. So I said, what does it mean? And he said, go ask Prabhupada. So I just went back in the room, and then I bowed down. And then as I got up, Prabhupada said, yes. I said, I have a question, Prabhupada. Yes. He says, what does my name mean? Of course, I couldn't pronounce my name. And I tried to pronounce it, Bahusira, and Prabhupada goes, Bahulashva, Bahulashva, Bahulashva. And he's going into ecstasy. And I'm like, nobody told me, I'd never even been instructed what to do in front of the spiritual master when he goes into ecstasy. And I go, Prabhupada, I know Bahulashva. He taught me how to play kartals. I'm not Bahulashva. And then something inside said, shut up. And then what happened is I'm just watching Prabhupada, and I got scared. I actually became afraid. Because Prabhupada just, And so then I just bowed down and I crawled out. And then on second initiation, now you probably want to talk about Atlanta. Finish it up. Okay, keep going. So in my second initiation was in Atlanta, Georgia, and that's when Prabhupada came there. Tamal Krishna, Paramahamsa Swami, Brahmananda, and the whole Radha Damodar traveling Sankirtan party in buses, they came there also. The devotees would come all over from all the different temples to come see Srila Prabhupada wherever he was. And so many devotees were there. And so I got second initiation with my guru by Vaishnavananda. We both got second initiation. We had been in New York City together, and then also is that we wound up in Atlanta. So, yeah, you're also there at the Bhagavad Dharma Discourses, correct. And so in Atlanta, after we got second initiation, I went up to Prabhupada, and Shruti Kirti, as I'm coming in, said, take your shirt off. And then he puts the thread on me. The guru is supposed to do that. Put your hand out, and then the thread goes over the top. And so I go into Srila Prabhupada, and he goes, who put that thread on you? And I go, Shruti Kirti. It's all right, sit down. So then Prabhupada's right here facing me because he has to speak in my right ear. And he's right here. And then I have the paper. And he said, repeat after me. And I'm going, and I'm trying to, and Prabhupada looked at me and he goes, just follow the paper and listen to the tape. You know, he knew I was useless. So then I just bowed down, and then I got up. He said, "Do you have any questions?" And I mean, I'm only, okay, here's the desk. Desk is shorter like this. Prabhupada's right here, and he's this far away from me. I look into his eyes. I lost it. And I just started to cry, because what else could you do? Prabhupada's eyes were so intense. He has that Shakti of presence. So when you're in front of Prabhupada, all your questions disappear. As a pure devotee. I mean, really, pure devotee, topmost. And so in Atlanta, now I'll let Vaishnavananda speak, because there's a lot about Atlanta. I mean, Prabhu, there's so many pastimes, there's so many things that happen. We would meet Prabhupada here and there. Then I went to live in India for 4 years, from 75 to 79. There's so many pastimes with that. But it's 8:40, so now Vaishnavananda will speak. Stop fresh.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. That's fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Parashtaya Bhutale Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Ghoravani Pachaline Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashita Desha Tarine Ukankaroti Bachalam Pangulang Jigitiri Yakripada Shri Guru Dina Taranam. So my Guru Bhai Bahusira is very dear to me. I'm very inspired by him. And everything he has told you has so much meaning and importance. So I would also want to share with you. I don't know if you understand in my English. I know I look Indian, but no Hindi jante, no Bengali bolo, only English. He says talk slow. So the significance, like Bahusira Prabhu, Guru Bhai, is sharing with you about Srila Prabhupada is not, we're speaking of our own personal experience, but this experience demonstrates the potency of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, simple look. Now, I will tell my story also. I'll try to be short because I know time limit. So, young boy, I was 16 years old, 1967. I am 75 now. So, I play hooky from school. Hooky means parents say, oh, now you go to school, you be a good boy, you study. But no, I go to school, no, I go play hooky. In New York City, playing hooky means you go somewhere else and you do nonsense. So we went to do nonsense, young boys, and we came to this one place called the Cloisters, which is a monastery of Roman Catholic monks. So there, I encountered the devotees for the very first time. I saw devotees, looking very strange. People with paint on their face, no hair, a little ponytail, with a sheet on. Very, very extravagant like this. But they gave me a card. They said, Chant Hare Krishna, and your life will be sublime. So sublime. I said, what is sublime? I don't know what that means. So I went home. Sublime. I said, oh, that's groovy. Groovy is a word. Oh, that's very nice. So in this way, I came to initial contact with Srila Prabhupada. Later, I meet the devotees in St. Mark's Place, a place of New York City, popular place, where all the hippies. This was the hippie area. You know about hippies? Prabhupada made the hippies happy. It's about hippies. So I wasn't hippie, but I was in the village. And then I met the devotees there again. They gave me Srila Prabhupada's first Gita. It was Bhagavad Gita as it is, Denise Levertov, Thomas Merton. Okay, what was the poet's name? Allen Ginsberg. Like this is a small blue. Some of you have seen the original version, abridged. It is a short, condensed. Blue Gita. So anyway, I carry this Gita everywhere. I start reading and didn't understand much. Trying to understand how Arjuna objected. I was agreeing with Arjuna. I said, no, you shouldn't kill your family. Family is very dear. Why should you kill family, brothers and sisters, and like this kin? But Krishna says, oh, no, you're nonsense, Arjuna. You're speaking like a learned man, but you're mourning for what is not. Yeah, so in this way, I began to assimilate the fundamental principles of Krishna consciousness. Later, It's just history. Because reading the book inspired me. So I go to 2nd Avenue. At that time, 1968, because it took an interval of a year to come to the temple. So I go to the temple. Hare Krishna. I go to the temple, and Prabhupada's not there. 26 2nd Avenue. You know about the little storefront? It's called Matchless Gifts, little storefront. Prabhupada began the birth of Hare Krishna movement in there. So, but Prabhupada, I didn't have sufficient punya. I was rascal. Did not have opportunity or fortune to meet Srila Prabhupada. So I go away. I come back again, because the first time Prabhupada was in Montreal. He was making arrangement for his visa residence. You see, Prabhupada was foreigner, so he had to step out of the country to Canada, Montreal. And many, many pastimes in Canada also. And you can read about through Lilamrita, Prabhupada's biography. So, go back again to 2nd Avenue. Prabhupada not there. Prabhupada in San Francisco, where he lives, right? Berkeley, San Francisco, big ratha-yatra there. So I miss Prabhupada. And then, okay, so I said, I want to meet Prabhupada. So I go back, 3rd time. Prabhupada, not there. Prabhupada was coming back to India. Because Srila Prabhupada had suffered a heart attack. So he wanted to come back to India to regain his health. India, Bharatavarsha, this very wonderful place. Bharatavarsha, you were very fortunate. Born here. Bharata Bhumi. Prabhupada explains, if you're born in this country, in India, already, 50% Krishna conscious. Prabhupada. Us, Malachas, Yavanas, Westerners. But Prabhupada is converted. He's made us Vaishnavas like this. So, to make long story short, meeting the devotees, it's a matter of time. So next time I go to the temple, once again, 4th time, no devotees, no temple. Devotees had moved. I said, oh, where's the devotees gone? I said, oh, now they're in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is 439 Henry Street. Very good place. Many pastimes of Prabhupada. So I went to there. I visit temple. One devotee said, oh, you must come back. Prabhupada will be here tomorrow. So in New York City, I rode 4 trains to get to Brooklyn because I lived in another island, Manhattan. New York City has several boroughs, they call it. Manhattan, the Bronx, Coney Island, Long Island, yes. Brooklyn. So I take 4 trains early in the morning, and then I come to the temple. Somebody gave me bead bag. Bhargava, remember Bhargava? Bhargava was the photographer of ISKCON at the time. So he gave me bead bag. And I said, oh. But I'm in the temple room, and I was more like interested in meditation, dhyan, Oh. But the devotees, lights on, going, it's so crazy. I said, oh my God, don't want this. So I go out, I say, I'm leaving, I'm going to meditation. I go outside. Now, the Brooklyn Temple had 2 entrances. One for the temple, yes, and one for the Prabhupada's quarters. So I sit on the steps. I'm trying to do my meditation like this. And then Prabhupada pulls up in limousine, big black limousine. And this is true story, please, very true story. I'm sitting there. I open my eyes, and who is there looking at me? No person, no one else. It's Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And from that moment, like Guru Bhai is explaining, you see Prabhupada 1 second, maybe you know Sanskrit, 1 second meeting or seeing your devotee, influence in the heart. So that one time, I knew. I joined Hare Krishna movement, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, like that. So this beginning, there's much more to say. Pastimes of Prabhupada. He wants me to talk about Atlanta. So let's move forward to Atlanta. So I join movement, I do things, book distribution, Brahmadanga, hey, how you doing? Take book. What's your name? Okay, I was very good in Sankirtan Jagya. So in this way, I come to Bhagavad Dharma discourses. One devotee invited me to Pittsburgh, and I came. Mahendra, yes, Mahendra. He's dead. He's passed away. Everyone dies. Like this. So he invited me. So he says, oh, you must come to New Vrindavan. They are having Bhagavad Dharma discourses. So there I see Prabhupada again. And Prabhupada, I had never seen anyone like him before. his effulgence, radiant, Jyoti, Prabhupada, mystic, Siddhi, Tattvadarshi, Jiva Mukta. You've never seen anyone like that. Just being close to Prabhupada affects the heart. You could be hard, no kirtan, no bliss, no ananda. Yeah, Vaishnava ananda, no ananda. Right? So anyway, like this. So from Bhagavad Dharma Discourse, I met one devotee, Amarendra, and his good wife. She passed, Gayatri. I can ask you if anyone knows, but you're all so young, you do not know. But Gayatri, she was a saint. There are many devotees who are saintly, sadhus, really sadhus. So Gayatri preached to me. He said, "Oh, don't go back to New York. You come with us to Gainesville." So, okay, convinced me. But never made it to Gainesville. We came to Atlanta, and so I stayed in Atlanta. So let's fast forward. Okay. So Prabhupada comes to Atlanta. Maybe you have read the pastime. This is where Prabhupada sang the song. Parama karuna pahundye jana Ita goro shana Savaravatar Sala shiromani Kevala ananda kanna.
It wasn't the first place.
No, okay, but we'll talk about that later. Wait, just hang out. Chillax. So, Prabhupada sang this song, but the devotees did not know. This is a 1-2 beat. You see, if you know music, you understand. Yeah. So Prabhupada said, and he asked for Mridanga. He had not done that anytime before, publicly. Prabhupada playing Mridanga. And he, for a long time, yes. Prabhupada played. So, but then Prabhupada's lecture, Prabhupada says, see, in Atlanta, the Ishta Devata is God Nitai in the middle. They had no other deity. No Radha Krishna, no Lord Jagannath, only God Nitai in the center. So Prabhupada begins, and you can listen to this lecture. February 28, 1975. You can look up in Prabhupada Vani. February 28, 1975. So Prabhupada is speaking. He says, he talks about Krishna. Krishna, yes, Krishna is compassionate like this, but he's very strict and he requires surrender. Surrender. But Lord Chaitanya, no. Lord Chaitanya, he is so kind, Prabhupada said, and then he begins to cry. You can hear it on the tape, right?
And what happened is tears shot out of Prabhupada's eyes. Okay, here. Tears shot out of Srila Prabhupada's eyes like this. So two devotees, Satyaraj, who's a big author in the movement, many books, and Dhira Krishna, who later on became a sannyas. These two were right here. They got Prabhupada's tears on them. And then they look at each other like, because, is it raining? Prabhupada's tears fell on them like that. In Atlanta.
Yes. So, I have. You take. So, the lecture that Prabhupada given, it is the shortest welcome, because this is when Prabhupada came into the temple. Welcome address.
10 minutes.
No.
It was 10 minutes.
No, less.
Less?
Short, very short. So Prabhupada began to cry like this. He went into ecstasy like this. So Prabhupada said the Lord Chaitanya has no demands, no rules, no aparat. See, if you serve in Lord Jagannath, you must be very paka, Brahminical. So you have to be very pure. Yes, so Prabhupada. Okay, he wants me to tell someone. So let's speed forward some more. Where Prabhupada is doing Guru Puja, because the appearance day of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sri Vaishnava Devi Dhaitaya Kripaptaliye Krishna Sambandha Vigina Daine Prabhavi Nama Bhaktisiddhanta. His Guru Puja. Like this. So Prabhupada was doing artik.
No, wait, before he does artik, talk about the Vyasasana, the height.
What?
Okay, so there was two Vyasasans, Prabhupada's and then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Yes.
And Prabhupada came, Prabhupada's standing here, and then the architect is here, devotee, Radha Mohan. Mm-hmm. And then Prabhupada's looking and he goes, no! And then Radha Mohan goes, what? What do we do now?
Prabhupada did not want to sit higher than Bhaktisiddhanta.
Yeah, Prabhupada said, my Guru Maharaj's Vyasasana has to be higher than mine.
Yes. So, yes, very true. But then Prabhupada is performing the artik, right? He knows the artik. So Prabhupada comes, you work for the elements, right? water, like fire. But in the country like that, Prabhupada. So Prabhupada's offering, I think, 7 times above hand. I'm not Pujari, like 7 times, something like that. So your Prabhupada's offering.
Anyway, go ahead.
And then you're supposed to pour. But there's no bowl. So Prabhupada turns to Balavanta.
Temple president.
He turns, what do you want? Use this mic, okay. Prabhupada, thank you. Srila Prabhupada turns to Balavanta, temple president. He says, bowl. Bowl means where you put things. Bowl? Honey bowl! He says, no, you idiot. Bowl, not an idiot, but bowl. But he was thinking, bowl. He says, honey bowl! So then Prabhupada understood that Balavanta Prabhu was not understanding him. But he was chanting Hari Bol nonetheless. But Prabhupada performed miracle. Yes? The miracle. Prabhupada very deft, very delicate. Prabhupada in power. Shakti, you see, he said, there's Tulsi plant about from here to where you are. He took country and flow of water. The flow of water flew, no drop down, straight into the Tulsi plant. Miracle. Jai Prabhupada.
They were all witnesses. I was a witness. You were a witness. Radhakund. His telling of the story is also on the internet and YouTube. Radhakund Das. Yeah.
So I don't know if we can go on speaking in this way. 5 more minutes I have? I have 5 more minutes? So, but Srila Prabhupada, I want to point out that there is no monopoly on bhakti, on Krishna consciousness.
How about the Madanga? When Prabhupada started to play Madanga, what happened?
You tell.
So this is winter time, February 28, and the drum was dead.
It was, yeah.
Ball. So when they gave the drum to Prabhupada, ball. So Prabhupada goes, bang, bang, bang.
No.
Jai Prabhupada! He heated up. Somehow he heated up the head. Because usually you have to take the madanga into the kitchen
Yes.
and heat it up.
Yeah.
So it would sound good. But Prabhupada did it on the Vyasa-san. And all the devotees just went crazy because they saw what happened.
Very good. So Srila Prabhupada, it's okay. Thank you. I'm not reading. What was I saying? Senior moment. So Srila Prabhupada, what was I saying?
Anyway, let's go on.
So Srila Prabhupada performed the miracle with the Tulsi. But it's more than that. Prabhupada said something, Paramakaruna, he chanted in this way. But significantly, oh yes, my train of thought just come back. Sorry. Senior moment, yes. That no monopoly on Krishna consciousness. Sometimes, Prabhupada disciple, Prabhupada chela, Prabhupada. No monopoly by Prabhupada chelas. No, this is for everyone. So if you here, all you young people, how old are you? How much? 20, see? 75. I got you. Okay. Now, so everyone, you're young. So you did not have opportunity. You were born before Prabhupada left body, disappearance, 1977, November 14th. Maybe you're not born, most of you. But in this lifetime, you only have opportunity to meet and greet Srila Prabhupada. But the opportunity is coming. But also, Srila Prabhupada told us very clearly that there's Vani and Vapu. So Prabhupada says, yes, I am old man. One day I will not be here, but I am leaving my instructions and orders in my books. I will live for 10,000 years like this. So, what he has, knowledge he has, jnana he has, experience, jnana, Prabhupada Chela, I have, you too can have through Vani. So you can be just as fortunate, just as realized, just as in love in Krishna consciousness as any Prabhupada disciple, any senior person, because no monopoly. Krishna gives opportunity for you to also get the same feeling. My son here, Maram, he tells me, yeah, Dad, I want to be like Prabhupada disciple. Says, you are actually, sometimes grandfather is more kind to grandson than immediate direct son. Do I have any more time? Okay. So continue your sadhana in this way with the faith, the Shraddha. Shraddha is the first principles. You know there are 9 principles in Krishna consciousness. Shraddha, Sarusango, Bhajana Kriya, like that. Talk about Prabhupada. Yeah, I talk about Prabhupada all day. I've so like this, but you said this time limit. So Srila Prabhupada has benedicted all of us. You are benedicted. Benediction does not stop with Prabhupada Chela. It continues on. It continues. Evam param param prabdam imarajaso.
Prabhupada in India.
Prabhupada in India? Oh, no, I don't. I want to.
Because most of you want to hear about Prabhupada. So the thing is that Gargamuni, he had driven 6 vans from Frankfurt, Germany, all the way to India. And when the 6 vans were coming down Bhaktisiddhanta Road, if many of you have been to Mayapur, there's Bhaktisiddhanta Road. And as they're coming down, the speakers were on, and they're blasting away. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And Prabhupada comes out in the balcony, and he looks. They said, "Oh, Prabhupada, it's Gargamuni." He says, "Yes, Gargamuni."
Gardamani.
His money. Garga money. He says they're Gargamuni. And so Gargamuni wanted to show Prabhupada these vans. And they're lined up next to the original Lotus Building temple, all lined up. I was feeling sick. So I'm trying to calculate that, okay, Prabhupada's going to come to the first van. He'll probably go to the second van. He probably won't come to the third van. And he'll come to the last van. So I said, okay, I'll sleep. I needed to get some rest. I was very weak. I'll sleep in the third van. And I was depending on the kirtan, because as Prabhupada would come from Bhaktisiddhanta Road to the temple, the kirtan would get very loud. And I thought, oh yeah, I hear the kirtan, I'll wake up. So then what happened? The next minute I know the door is opening up.
And there's Prabhupada.
And then Prabhupada, and I look up, and then Prabhupada's looking at me. And I said, oh, Prabhupada, I said, I'm sorry, I'm sick. Oh. But then the 2 sannyasis on each side of Prabhupada, they're looking at me like, I'm going to burn you later.
I do have one Indian story.
Yeah, one second. So the thing is that, of course, then Prabhupada went inside.
Yes. So Srila Prabhupada is glorious, whether he's in India, in America, anywhere like this. So I did not spend time in India. In 1975, when Mayapur Chandradaya Mandir, and Prabhupada speaking to everyone, he says, many of you are thinking that you can stay in India and do this and do that like this, but I am needing you American boys and girls. He was grateful and appreciative of the service that the American boys and girls are doing, because like Prabhuji and myself, we were little soldiers, huh? Senapati, Prabhupada's general. We're like corporal, private, one rank like this. But most devotees were fighting Maya in hand-to-hand combat. You understand? Hand-to-hand combat. Fighting. No weapon, just fighting. So devotees on Sankirtan, we help to disseminate, we help to spread Hare Krishna movement for Srila Prabhupada. So Hare Krishna movement is all over the world. We have Russian devotees, Spanish devotees. It's like this. So Krishna consciousness is what is the verse? To spread Pritiviti Acha Yata Nagaradigram. Like in India, but it's everywhere now, Hare Krishna movement. So Prabhupada, in this lecture in Mayapur, I'm sitting there close to Prabhupada. You see, I'm a young boy, Prabhupada see, I'm sitting there. Prabhupada says, so I am needing you American boys and girls to go back and distribute my books. Because I was thinking of staying in India, learning Bengali. I look Indian a little bit, yes? I thought, yes, but not Indian. Families from Dominican Republic. They're different type Indian. Tainos, different Indian. So like this, but when Prabhupada gave the order, he said, you come back to America and you continue to spread this movement. I took that to heart. Beyond my own personal interest, I want to follow Guru's orders. And that is the criteria or criterion in Krishna consciousness, to follow order of the spiritual master. Tavini pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. Upadekshyanti te jnanam garinas tattva darshina. Srila Prabhupada.
Chai. So just Prabhupada in Mayapur, this is on tape, 1976. Prabhupada was giving a lecture, and then all of a sudden he just goes into ecstasy and falls back in the Vyasasana like this. And Hans Adut is right here with a chamara, fanning Prabhupada. And we're all staying out in the audience, and Prabhupada's just oozing ecstasy. And the devotees could feel it. And we're looking at each other. You feel this? Oh, yeah. It's just coming out. So the devotees, 99 and 9/10% did not want to disturb Prabhupada's ecstasy. But then we had Hansa Duda here. He goes, Nama Om. And then Prabhupada comes out. And then the devotees look at him like, we're going to get you later. Because, to see the spiritual master go into ecstasy is a very rare thing. Then there was another time where Prabhupada was talking, and then all of a sudden in Mayapur, and he fell back also into ecstasy. And then Trivikram Swami in the back, he's like 80-something years old now. He preaches in Poland. And he was in the back, and then he does the same thing. Nama Om. So this created a problem. I don't know whether it was the first one or the second time. But the devotees are saying, no, you should not disturb the spiritual master when he's in ecstasy. And the other group of devotees go, no, we should assist Prabhupada in chanting Hare Krishna. So Brahmananda, he went to Prabhupada. And he said, Prabhupada, today you went into ecstasy. And Prabhupada said like a little boy, he said, well, I don't do that very often. So he said, okay, but Prabhupada, we want to know what we're supposed to do when you go into ecstasy. And Prabhupada says, chant Hare Krishna. So these other devotees, Trivikram Swami, Hansa Duda, they were let off the hook. So that was the end of that situation. And Prabhupada used to go around, and the old temple, it was like this. And we would go around the back. And going around the back of the temple, it's thinner. So all the devotees would squish in. And what happened is I was on the side next to Prabhupada, but all the devotees started to squish, and then I get pushed forward, and then the sannyasis go, get back, away from Prabhupada, because Prabhupada's supposed to be leading. Then when Prabhupada would come around, there was a big bell with a rope, and Prabhupada would start ringing it, ding, 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 and the devotees are jumping up, going in ecstasy, jumping all around. Then he'd go around again, come back around, start ringing the bell, the devotees jumping up and off the ground like this. And Prabhupada liked it because he saw the devotees, he's smiling. He'd go back around, ringing the bell, bang, 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 bang. The devotees just go crazy. So Prabhupada, like this, he would be doing many, many wonderful pastimes. And of course, we're running out of time now. But yeah, it just goes on and on and on. My pastimes with Prabhupada, when I was in India doing seva, is that those are on tape. So you can see those on tape under Bahusira Das, Volume 5 of the, Remembering Srila Prabhupada series.
I'll tell one final thing, okay? We got time? Okay. So Srila Prabhupada has many, many leelas, many pastimes. Prabhupada was very astute, very, very sharp. Like one, I'll tell two. So Prabhupada is Janmashtami, like he was saying, the devotees falling asleep because you fast until 12 and you read Krishna book. So everyone's falling asleep, and then everyone is falling asleep, and everyone's falling asleep. And the devotee who was reading also was reading, almost falling asleep too. And finally, the reader looks up to see that everyone's fell asleep, and Prabhupada says, I'm listening. This is a true story. Javanaksha told me that. Yes. And Sengavida Dasi also approached Prabhupada and says, Prabhupada, you're looking so beautiful today. He says, today? So Srila Prabhupada, very astute. He was so very kind, particularly to all his daughters. Prabhupada was transcendental. But you can also have Prabhupada. Like I say, Prabhupada is available to all now. Okay? Thank you.
And everything is recorded. So everything is recorded. The pastimes of Prabhupada, devotees had with him in 9 volumes. There are DVDs. Those are available by Yarubar. And then also all the other tapes. And then Siddhanta, he'll be coming probably to Krishna Balaram 50th anniversary, and he'll also be recording devotees that were there on the for this 50th anniversary, and when they were there back in 1975. I was in South India preaching with Achyutananda Swami, and I wanted to go to Krishna Balaram opening, but wasn't able to. So the thing is, this will be an opportunity. If any devotees can come, it's a 6-day festival from April 1st till April 6th.
And I'd like to say something about your Guru Maharaj, Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj. Also, I met him there. I was there for the opening Jubilee Srila Krishna Balaram Mandir. And basically, Gaur Govinda Maharaj, at the time, not sannyasi, he just had come. And we would go on morning walk with Prabhupada. And he's very humble. He stayed in the back. All the devotees are trying to habna with Prabhupada. Habna means get close to Prabhupada. You know, well, I want to be close to Prabhupada. But not Maharaj Gurubai. Not Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj. He stayed in the back. But Prabhupada know that he was a Vaishnava from Gaudiya family, very good Gotara. So Prabhupada noticed, he turns, he says, come and bring him, Gaur Govinda Maharaj, to the front. So I like to say that. That's the one pastime of the thief. You're a thief. You're a thief. Okay. So Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj, he was invited to come to Chicago. This was conveyed to me by God brother Shankar Pandit Prabhu. Shankar Pandit is book distributor. Even today, he's distributing books. These old guys, 74. He's still out distributing books, Prabhupada's books. So Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj comes to Chicago. They arranged nice program for him to speak. Nice, but this program was at a very wealthy man's house, very, very opulent, big fancy house like that. So Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj arrives and he starts to see all the opulence. He's like, Then he meets the owner. The owner welcomes him. Oh, Swamiji, thank you for coming. He says, Swami Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj says, this is your house? He says, oh yes, this is my house. All of these expensive things? This is your house? He says, oh, yes. He says, you a thief. He says, and he's, of course, shocked. Sure. He says, a thief? He says, yes, no. I'm no thief. I own house. I work very hard. I have title to house. He says, no, you a thief. And so at that point, this man is very shocked, very nervous. He's being accused. Allegation, he's the thief. You see, so third time, he says, no, I am not thief. But Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj, yes, you are thief. And then after 3 times, a very strong statement, he says, Isha Vashamidam Sarvam. He says, he says, yes, you are thief because it does not belong to you. Everything belongs to God. Krishna. So in this way, Melo. So that was Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj, very creative. He has given this wealthy man a good lesson to understand, that this life is ephemeral. This is a temporary life. Janma mita jalagati. You're born. Jara, you get old. You boys are young, good looking, see, old, handsome. He was too, me too, young, hair, but body's going, Jara, mitrio. So Prabhupada is giving us this Krishna consciousness so we can prepare. So every day, padam navi padam natesham. Anything can happen. You say, I'm young, I will live, but no guarantee. Just like student, Prabhupada talks about the honorary degree. Many of you have degrees. I have degree, he has degree. But there's no guarantee. If you say, I am not going to study, I am not going to do the work, I'm going to receive honorary degree. No guarantee. So you're thinking, I'm young, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I will live long, long time. No guarantee. So please continue chanting Hare Krishna and thinking, Krishna's in your heart, Krishna's listening. Krishna listens. You have faith. Shraddha. When you chant Hare Krishna, okay, Krishna, you listening? Okay, Hare Krishna. And God is in your heart, listening to you. So chant Hare Krishna and be happy. All glory to Prabhupada. All glory to Srila Govinda. And thank you for inviting us. Yes, thank you for. You were at the program yesterday, yes? Yes, I remember you smiling. You're still smiling. Hare Krishna. Very nice.
Hare Krishna. So we are very grateful to both the devotees, great disciples of Srila Prabhupada. We are blessed to hear so many pastimes of Srila Prabhupada because hardly we get to hear about Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is such a rare personality, and by the mercy of His Grace Bahusira Prabhu and His Grace Vaishnavananda Prabhu, we could hear so many nectarian pastimes, because these pastimes are our uh, it's the main food for living in this Krishna consciousness for a long, long time. We seek for their blessings and we request His Grace Bahusira Prabhu and Vaishnavananda Prabhu to shower their blessings by visiting ISKCON Bhubaneswar whenever they get some opportunity, or if they can make frequent visits, it would be very kind upon us. So His Grace Bahusira Prabhu ki jai. His Grace Vaishnavananda Prabhu ki jai. Jagat Guru Shil jai.